Navigating dating in the 21st century, in 2021. How have you been doing it? How has it been working for you? Okay, so I think it's hard as an introvert. It's hard for me to open up to people. It's unless I'm making a game out of how many people can I introduce myself to, or before I leave this place I'm going to talk to X amount of people. If I'm not doing that actively, I'm closed off. I don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. That's generally how I'm out in the world. Like, I just don't want to be bothered with you. I want to get in, get out, because I want to go back to my sanctuary. That being said, it can be hard for people like me to meet people out and about. I have hobbies, but I like doing them by myself. So one of the great ways to meet people in person is to do the things you like. That's one of the natural ways to connect with people, real people. You go to the gym, you meet somebody at the gym. You go to a book club, you meet somebody at the book club. You like painting, so you take this one painting class. There's people there who are doing it, I would hope so, because they like it. You can meet people there. As a person who tries not to leave home, tries to see how many days I can go without leaving the house, it's just difficult. So I definitely recommend online dating. I just do. People will say it's weird, they wouldn't do it. Well, just don't do it then. If you feel uncomfortable with it, there are lots of different ways to meet people. You're just gonna have to put a little bit more effort, because the part about online dating is that it's made it really easy to access people that you would never really cross paths with in real life. So I'm gonna do another video on like ranking dating apps. I don't think there's a significant I think there are quality people on all dating sites, but the proportion of people you will have to sift through to get to the kind of quality is what's different. So in another video, I'll do like a ranking. Also on my Patreon, I meant to mention this before, on my Patreon, I just uploaded a video looking at my dating profiles. I want you guys to see I don't want everybody to see what kind of pictures I have up, what I put in my bio, what I think is important, all that stuff. You can go look at that example on my Patreon. The link is in the bio. So I think download 2 or 3 dating apps that you can start interacting with people, right? I think you need to be clear on what your goal is. Are you looking for sex? Are you just looking for sex? I don't think you need to come right out and just say, I'm looking for sex. I don't think you need to do that. But there's definitely a way to respond to people's questions that will let them know that you're not looking for anything serious. Are you looking for a boyfriend or girlfriend? Are you looking for a husband or a wife? If you're looking for those things, you're going to navigate the dating scene different, especially if you live in a large metropolitan area like I do in Atlanta, where people have just gotten away from, I guess, what the natural partnering that happened in high school. Can you go back to high school and think about how you shared who your crush was, how you started talking to them, how you all partnered? Like, partnering is a very natural process. I think it's very biologically driven in us to want to partner. Most people partner, like 87% of people will partner. Maybe not get married, but will partner. And so that way of doing things is kind of altered in a way when there's just so much I don't want to say distractions, but like when people feel like they have so many options, when people feel they have endless options, they're much less likely to do the natural partnering. It's easier to find small faults. It's easier to replace people. And so it's like, well, why would I partner? That's why you have like 40, 50, 60-year-olds who haven't been in any long-term serious relationship, like here in Atlanta. And to me, that's a red flag. When someone has not had any successful partnerships in their life and they've reached a certain age, I'm concerned. I don't think you know how to do partnership. Maybe you should keep doing the Playboy sort of thing that you're doing. I'm just saying. But anyway, on your online profile, it's really important as a woman to have very good pictures, because men are visual creatures. I don't know, if you're watching this video, maybe you think like me, that men and women want the same things, right? We want love, happiness, joy. We want the same things, but the way we go about it is different, right? Men have more testosterone. They perceive the world in a different way. Women have more estrogen. We both have both of them, but women have more estrogen typically, right? If you're the average woman, have more estrogen. You navigate life in a different way as a woman. Men navigate life in a different way. So different things pop out to us. I'm not like, it's not right or wrong. This is just the way it is, biology. I think there's lots of different ways to be a man, to be a woman. Do what feels like natural to you. But at the same time, understand that if you're looking for something that's not typical, something that's rare, then you're just gonna have to wait a little longer for that click, for that connection with somebody who can meet what it is that you're looking for. But anyway, men are visual creatures. We all have eyes. We all like things that look good. Me, I prefer my man to be medium ugly. You might want him to look like Boris Kojo. I don't want a man to look like Boris Kojo, but if that's what you want, go for it. Most men want a pretty lady. Most men want a pretty lady, and they want a lady who's normal size, fairly, normal size. And it's important for you as a woman to put what you look like. Your face, your smile, your body, your whole body, whatever it is, whatever you are, there's somebody looking for it. Okay, I'm telling you now, there's somebody looking for it. It might not be who you want, which means if you're not getting the outcome you want, you might have to change some things. But put your whole body. Men do the same thing, but generally speaking, I'm just looking to see if you, as a woman, I'm just looking to see that you're a real person, that you have teeth, that you look like you have good hygiene, or you take care of yourself, whatever. I'm not looking for, photogenic pictures. And to me, when photogenic pictures are there, that's like a red flag. Then I'm wondering, is this a catfish? Why are all your pictures professional photos? Do you do any selfies? I mean, some men don't really do selfies, but not one. Not one. I'm concerned. I'm a little concerned. So start with the photos. Men, it's more important what you write in your bio than what a woman writes in her bio. I'm telling you. 9 times out of 10, men are not reading your bio. Hon. They're not. And I don't think that's a personal affront. I think that's just kind of the way they're wired. When a man does read my bio, then I get the sense that he probably likes to read in general, which is a plus. But I don't require men to read. I require men in my life who like to learn. And reading is a good way to do that. But I'm not, if he doesn't read my bio, I don't think that's a red flag, because I barely have anything in my bio anyway. As a woman, you really don't need to put much in your bio. As a man, you need to put a little bit more about who you are, what you're looking for, what you're doing, life lessons. Like, just put a little bit more effort into your bio if you're a man. All this said and done, we have the bios. We've listed whether we have children or not. We've listed, what else is an important one? I forget now. We've listed what we do for a living, right? As a man, you probably should put what your profession is, where general area of where you live. People don't need to know your exact address, but in meeting people, I think your goal is to meet them in person as soon as possible. So in the first few interactions, the messages that are sent back and forth, I have come to feel like if you're looking for something serious, if you're looking for marriage, then getting a phone conversation is important to do as soon as possible. If you're not looking for something serious, maybe you're just looking for a pen pal, none of this applies to you. Just send a message. If somebody says something back, talk to them. That's it. I would say just talk to them. How to tell people you're not really interested? Just say, I'm not really looking for something committed right now. I'm not really looking for something serious. And some women feel like they can change your mind. That's not your responsibility. But I think it's good to remind people that, especially when they drop hints that they want something more, remind people that it sounds like you're looking for something serious, and I just wanted to clarify to make sure we're on the same page about what's happening here. Like, be honest, be like transparent. You could even say, I'm looking for something like a friends with benefits situation. And if somebody stops talking to you and says no, that's fine. You're looking for honesty also with the person that you're with. and there is somebody else who's going to be looking for our friends and benefits, it's just going to take you a while. Anytime you're being honest, I think it's going to take a while. So even if you tell somebody when they ask you like what you're looking for, and you say, well, I'm looking for a husband, that's what I started saying. I'm looking for a husband. If somebody is not in the mind frame to be a husband, not ready to be a husband, doesn't want something serious, only wants, I don't know, casual dates or whatever, then you're gonna weed them out very quickly. And one of the things I want you to remember is you need to walk away at any time. Be willing to walk away anytime from something that no longer serves you. So if you learn information like he's married, he doesn't actually live in the country, maybe he's not a citizen, I don't know if that's a deal breaker to you or not, or doesn't live in your city, and somebody like me, I want to connect with people in real life during a regular week on a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday for breakfast. Like that's what I'm looking for. That's not something you can do from Nigeria, right? Because there's people online all over the place who may or may not be upfront about where they live, what they're doing. So whenever you find it out, and make it your business to find out these sorts of things early on. In a phone conversation, you can find out a lot, especially the vibes, the energy. Not as much as you would in person, but you find out a lot. Once you get to the point where you want to schedule an in-person visit where you're having a first date, if you've met this person in person, you already feel a vibe that would make you want to spend more time with them. But if you are meeting them online, you're looking for this first date to tell you, do I want to spend more time with this person? Do I see this going anywhere? Do I feel connected to them? Do I feel attracted to them? You can do all that on the first date. And I, as a person who don't really like a lot of people, I made it my business to let men know at the end of a first date, very early on, if I was interested in seeing them again or not. I think when the vibes are strong, you can tell from like the first messages, the first phone conversation, the first time you meet, like in that first instant where you all share a hug or touch hands or whatever, like, ooh, I like this. Ooh, this feels good. And then the date progresses and you're like, I would like to see this person again. If the vibe, like you all are aligned there, it's probably a natural thing that you'll be talking about planning the next thing. Granted, you are just saying, here's a spark here for some potential. You're not saying this is going to be my, you might, I don't recommend that, but you might be thinking this has the potential to be a serious relationship, but you don't really know yet because you don't actually know this person. And so I'm not of a particular age, right? I'm only in my early 30s. So I don't feel like rushing. I don't think we need to rush in our 30s. When you're in your mid 40s, 50s, 60s, you've been around this already. Maybe you've been in, a 10-year relationship already or whatever, that you understand what it takes to make a healthy relationship work. So when you meet somebody in the first 3 months, you might get married. There are people who get married and stay married. But I think those people have done individual work when the marriages last. Those people have done individual work to know what it is that they want, and they've connected with somebody and they feel so strongly about each other, right? So, also the rules don't really apply. I know people want you to think that you have to do X, Y, and Z. You can't have sex until 90 days pass. All those like hard rules about this is what you have to do, and if you do these things, it's gonna work, are not real. You are going to make decisions that work best for you and that other person. And what works best for you and that other person might not work for another person, or might not work for somebody else that you meet. You have to feel what the vibes are, go with the flow in a kind of way to see what's gonna work. Because at the end of the day, none of us knows if these are relationships that are going to last forever. And I wouldn't encourage you to focus too much on, is this going to last forever? Ask yourself, does this have the potential? Ask yourself, is there peace here? Is there joy here? Am I feeling good about where we're at? Ask yourself those sort of questions for right now, because there's no guarantee that this person is going to be alive in 5 years. There's no guarantee you're going to be, there's no guarantee that you will meet somebody else. There's no guarantee that whatever lessons you all were supposed to learn were learned and now it's time to separate. There's no guarantee. But what you can do is focus on, what is it feeling like right now? Are we still on the same trajectory for life? Do we want the same things? That sort of thing. Instead of worrying about some arbitrary time in the future. Are we gonna be together forever? Okay, that's cute. You don't have to be though. You don't have to be with the next person you're with forever. You can plan, you can enjoy your life, and sometimes we move on. Sometimes things do last forever. But I don't want you to get so caught up on it has to work. My next relationship has to be my last relationship. Okay. Okay. I'm saying if you're approaching it like that, you're probably in like scarcity mode, fear mode, and whatever you're planning is not going to work if that's the mode you're in. Because anything we do out of fear usually doesn't succeed. We might be ruled by the feelings for a while, but in the long term, when you wake up, you're gonna be like, I didn't even want this anyway. But you were forced. You were really forcing it. You were really forcing it. So one of the ways to help with that is dating multiple people. I don't know how to date multiple people. I know how to go on a lot of first dates. But like after the first month, if I've seen you like every week or every other week in the first month, and I just don't have the energy for that many people. I think Americans, I mean, I'm a US citizen, but I think American culture of dating maybe is a little flawed. And so I don't necessarily agree with the advice of date multiple people. Yeah, because I know they're talking about don't you don't have to have sex with them, whatever, but then it just feels like you're playing a game. And like in that engagement game book, I just don't encourage playing games with people. I think it's important to be honest about what it is that we want. And I don't really see how I don't know how to connect with multiple people in like the same time. I always feel like somebody stands out and I become invested in wanting to spend more time with that person and letting things naturally grow. That's the way I do things. I would like to think that I have some level of success in my relationship, getting it to be what I want it to be, getting it to be a happy and healthy place. But if I think people have different goals also, and I'm thinking of like April Mason, and if for women who want to get engaged, she tells them to date multiple people over that time, especially so they don't get too attached to one person. But I think it's a good thing to get attached to the person that you're with, to the person that you're falling in love with. That's just how I feel. And but when you become aligned with someone who wants the same things as you, like if your goal is to get married in a year, you need to be partnering somebody who also wants to get married in a year, not somebody that you have to convince or play games with to get them to do what you want them to do. You all are going to want each other so much, like want the same things, that it's going to be a natural thing. And I think maybe that's what doesn't really happen. People don't really tend to partner with who also wants them. So it ends up being like a difficult thing. Always check in with yourself about how you're feeling. Do not be too concerned with whether the person likes you or not. Like if you know they like you, but do you like them? Is this something that you want? Do you see this going somewhere? Like check in with yourself in addition to, are they putting in effort? Are they showing interest? Are they planning? Are they receiving? All that stuff is, I think, very important for the dating game. So in another video, I'll talk more about like once you get past the first date, what do? What happens at like the 3-month mark? What does it mean for you to make it to a year? When do you think it's the best time to get married? Remember these rules with a year, 2 years, they don't really apply. A powerful woman makes their own rules and does whatever they want and gets the results they want because they're focused on doing things their way, in a certain way. Remember to check out my Patreon. You can look at my online dating profile. Let me see. Let me know if you have any questions about dating, online dating. I really think the relationship you have with yourself is the most important. That's what I think you should focus on. I think that's where my advice for dating will diverge from most people. I don't think you need to play any games. I think you need to get good with you before you decide you want to date. Okay? So share this video with someone you think it may help. Subscribe, like. I was just joking about this last night. Like, subscribe. And thank you for watching.